go. Let's do this again. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Thank you for another week. We pray that you would bless this show, bless us to touch someone, to help heal someone, to help inspire and help empower someone. And we promise, Lord, to give you all the praise and all the glory in your mighty, matchless, and majestic name. We say hallelujah and amen. All right. So thank you for that little nudge there, Andy. How you doing?
All right, how we doing?
Man, I'm glad to be in the land of the living one more time. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I can't complain. God is good.
Yes, sir. God is good. I didn't even know if you were going to come like that. That's all right. God is awesome. How was your weekend?
Well, it was we got some things done. The weekend is over, and now it's down to the week. I gotta really get some work together. But I was moving around this weekend.
So, unless you were under a rock, and I don't mean you, I just mean general audience, everybody is talking about the debate. Now, this show is about mental health. If I think better, I do better. But one thing I've pondered ever since my first encounter with politics back in 1998, officially running for state central committee, getting involved in a campaign, and given all that I've seen since then, including elected officials who have got kicked out of office, got locked up, went to prison, who broke law, people who've won, people who've lost, people who've been perennial candidates. You being a political advisor, you being one the candidates listen to, help them with their website, you help them with their marketing, you help them with a strategic plan, how to reach a particular demographic, voters, those who are super voters. And if you don't know what a super voter is, that's the person that votes every election, generally speaking. I want to talk today about the mental health of political candidates. One thing I share with candidates that I've worked with over the years, and I'd love to get your feedback on this. One of the first things I say to them after we probably pray, it works for me. I know if I pray and keep God first, I can do anything but fail. But the most important thing I stress to them off the bat, particularly if they are married, if they have children, if they're family people, I say to them more than anything, when this is all said and done, what I want for you is for your family to stay intact.
Yeah, I mean the
What's your
thing is, when you decide to run for office, before you make the decision to run for office, you should talk to your family about it because they become a part of the campaign. Like they not even in the sense of them their lives being a part of the public record or anything like that, but when you're out there and you're running, you might have a day job and then you come home from work and then you got to go hit doors and then you got to do call time and then you got to meet with the team and find out what has happened during the day. You might have to respond to a questionnaire, and questionnaires are like 20 pages long. You might have to. There's a lot of different little smaller moving parts that to running a successful campaign. And so, if you don't have your wife on board, you're gonna have a problem. You can't necessarily say, "Oh yeah, and I'm our kids," because kids are kids. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They just want to be involved sometimes, and the teenagers don't want to be involved. But you got to have your wife on board. You need to have your core, your mom, your dad, your immediate family needs to be on board. That's why they say to all candidates, like the first people you talk to is everybody in your family, whether it be for fundraising, whether it be for manpower, but mostly for emotional and support. You need to have them people on your time on your side that they're not here because they're placating you. They're not here for political reasons because they think you're gonna win or because they think you got some money in your war chest. These are your folk. You need to get your folk on board. And a lot of candidates fail to do that. They're just like they want to be more impressive to their family. Like, oh yeah, I went out and I won this campaign. Look at me. When it's like Get them involved. They'll be there with you. Let them walk with you because they'll see something coming and come warn you about it long before a strategist might even, we don't know who your family members know.
One race that comes to mind, a couple of thoughts come to mind. One, you could apply this same comprehensive, holistic thinking to a person who starts a business, could you? Because running for office is a business.
Yes, it is.
So if a person, say, goes out and they want to start a marketing company, it would behoove them to get their significant other's blessing, because they're not always going to help you. But what you don't want is for them to work against you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay. So another thing on that note is a particular race. The young man's name is Blanchard. He's the new city council person, Democratic nominee, and of course in Baltimore, a 9-1 Democratic city. Generally, always the Democratic nominee goes on to win in the general election. So this young man, Mr. Blanchard, and his first name escapes me, but he beat Eric Costello. And what I wanted to reference here is I saw a lot of his family being supportive of him.
Zach Blanchard, I think his name is. Well, and that's important, of having that kitchen cabinet, that strong core of folks who are just going to be there with you whether you win, lose, or draw. And that's, he was being able to call on your family and being able to rely on your family when you win in doubt. That was probably what helped him, well, let's not say it was probably what helped him, because he is a military veteran, so he knows he's not too unfamiliar with a good fight. So, this was just but he also knew that he needed his infrastructure, he needed his squad together, he needed his team. He stacked his team with family, the people he could trust fall with.
And let's just put it in there, to beat a seasoned veteran is no easy feat.
Definitely is not. But I didn't track that race enough to know what went wrong. But I will say, beating a military veteran is not an easy feat either. So, Costello had an uphill battle coming in.
Because he was going against the soldier. Are you former military? Navy. Salute, soldier. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
So something else that comes to mind is, for anybody running for office, what are some of the things that one has to consider before stepping out there? Tell me about the mental preparedness.
You need to figure out who you are personally, as a person, like your core self, what you want to stand for, because you can't be everything for everybody. And you don't want to be one of those people who creates an identity crisis for themselves because they lost the election, because they tried to fit in the molds that they thought people would like. No, just go out and be who you are. And in order to do that, you need to be centered. You need to be sure in yourself.
I'm just thinking, if I ever decided to run again, I need to know who I am.
Because the thing is, whether people like you personally or whether they love you personally, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean they won't vote for you. People vote for people that they hate. People vote for people who aren't like them. People vote for people who don't stand for what they stand for. So it's a matter of being sure of yourself. Why do people vote for Trump? Because Trump is sure of himself. He's completely sure of himself. And it's like, I won't vote for him because I have my reasons. But the thing is, he has that little monochrome. You don't see him switching up. He might lie to you, but he's not switching up. He's just gonna lie to you. He is who he is. And look at Westmore. Westmore is who he is. And so people like that. He's sure of himself. We can go down the line of, down to Brandon Scott. He's sure of himself. Sheila Dixon, she's sure of herself. That's like, that's, you have to be sure of yourself. You can't just be over here trying to create a persona and try to live up to a persona that you think people are going to like. It's not sustainable. And it's going to cause you a lot of mental health issues.
Have you ever seen a candidate deal with mental health issues?
I feel like you kind of have to be, you gotta have to have some level of mental health issues to run for office. It's,
Why? Because
it's
it's such an extreme sport.
yeah. I mean, you're thinking about it, right? You have to when you're campaigning becomes your life, and you have to maintain your life. You have to live a double life, right? Um, when you're the level of anxiety that you have to live with as a candidate and as a legislator on a day-to-day level, it's not that it's I don't imagine a regular average person can do it without can deal with that kind of anxiety effectively. And like it's a lot of pressure that you're willingly putting on yourself. And you're walking a fine line with broken rollerblades every day. I'm in a tightrope. You're walking on a tightrope with broken rollerblades every day. Anything you say wrong, you can end up, your whole life is embarrassed. You're in shambles. It's over for you. Career is over. You do something wrong. You might be, you tweet the wrong thing. You slide in the wrong inbox. It's a wrap for you.
There's
And
so
you get
many
blamed for stuff
landmines.
you didn't even know what was happening. You know, you get blamed for stuff that you or might not even know the full breadth of what's going on. You go to an event and you get caught in a picture with someone you don't know what this guy did, and now you're tied into it. It's a lot. Like it's not really something that if the if there was like a job application and they laid out everything that goes into being a politician, ooh, nobody's clicking that, especially not at the pay rates. And you're not getting paid. It's definitely not the industry you go in to get rich.
But it is the industry that people go in for power.
Mm-hmm. It's power. So you can translate power into money. You can rent power with money. You can't buy power.
Wow. Wow, Andy, you've so you mentioned Sheila Dixon,
Mhm.
and this is a fair public conversation. This is not going in on anyone. Tell me about her mental toughness. I mean, she
Man.
ran for office in 16, in 20, then again this year in 2024, three races. I thought she got robbed in the first two. Um, what kind of mental toughness would you characterize of a Sheila Dixon?
Man,
I think she's
Sheila
got more
Dixon's mental
guts.
toughness is a testament to her routines, right? Like she runs, right? And she meditates and she does all of this self-care. And it truly is a testament because like like folks say some of the wildest stuff about her and have no clue who she really is. And just to be able to just walk through that head held high, stoically. Now that, she needs to write a book. She needs to teach some girls how to do this.
Why? Why does she need to write a book to teach girls how to do that?
Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to you've seen some of the commercials, you see some of the tweets, you see some of the stuff that are said about her. Like some people kill themselves behind shit like that. Excuse my language. And she just lets it roll off. I mean, we watched a video of her on the Fox News interview, and someone is in the background throwing something at her, and she just kept her cool, kept her calm, and handled the situation. I have no idea how that rest of that played out, but she has nerves of steel.
Tell me about a Donald John Trump.
Ah, now that's a guy. I don't know what to make of him, man. I wish I did. At one point in time, I thought he did a lot of cocaine, but maybe not. um, but I don't know. I mean, it's probably he only and he only engages stuff that supports what he thinks anyway. So I don't even know if it's a matter of mental toughness for him and more of a matter of extreme escapism and just avoiding the realities of what's going on. He only listens to the people who say the stuff he wants to hear. Mm.
Do you think he's a good politician?
Do I think he's a good politician? I think he's really great with propaganda. I think he's a great marketer, but I don't think he's a good politician.
I don't know.
But he
Did you?
definitely understands propaganda. Hmm?
Is he a good person?
Do I think he's a good person? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. Let's put it to you like this. I wouldn't say he's a good person because of the things he said about Haitians. So,
What did he say about Haitians?
that we're a dirtbag country or something like that. What is it,
And
shithole country?
You have Haitian roots.
Yes, both of my parents are Haitian. I'm a first generation American.
Wow. Now this conversation, I don't. I guess I don't know. I won't forget it now. I'm a big fan of Haiti. Haiti has, in my opinion, the strongest black people in the Western Hemisphere. Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Henry Christophe, and I forget the Jamaican's first name, but his name is Boukman, who was a part of the Haitian Revolution.
Boukman? Yeah.
Yeah. For them
But
to kick the French out of Haiti, I've said it and I'll say it again. You will never hear anything good about Haiti through Western media in your lifetime. For France to have Haiti paying restitution because they kicked, they got France's foot off their neck. I mean, are they paying France in perpetuity?
nah, it's over. It's done now. I think it was a few years ago.
Beat their butt back in 1804, 1807, and been paying for it ever since. Over 100 years. Kick
Yeah, they didn't like
Napoleon,
that.
kick Napoleon's hind parts. Napoleon had his hind parts handed to him in a basket, gift wrapped. Here, take this and get to stepping.
But nothing you can do but sell the Louisiana territory.
And so, I mean, along the lines of mental health, what does it, I mean, and Haiti is the only country in the Western Hemisphere where that happened, correct?
That I know of. I'm not gonna say the only, but that's the only one I know of, especially the black ones.
I mean, there were a lot of insurrections, there were a lot of revolutions and fights and wars, but the Haitians actually fought for and won their independence from, France, an otherwise powerful country.
With blood.
with blood.
Mhm.
That takes a lot of discipline. I mean, that requires mental toughness. I mean, how did the Haitians beat Napoleon? How did the Haitians win their independence from your perspective?
You know, they fought. They cut. Well, they worked with the natives. The slaves worked with the natives to poison the white folks, and then we burnt the houses down, so there was nowhere for them to come back to, and just held the line on this front. Kept them from docking. They could never dock. If you can't dock, you can't put an army on the ground. Of course, this
Wow.
is a question for my mother.
Oh, you're doing pretty good. And it's important to have this conversation with you because I'm a big fan of history. I get the question from younger people all the time, Donnie, why do you love history so much? Why is history important? Why is history important, Andy?
History, history is important because it's repetitive. History is going to repeat itself, and if you don't pay attention to what has happened in the past, it's just going to keep happening over and over and over in the future. Like Trump's presidency, this has happened in America's past. We just forgot about it. Nobody remembered. But there's been extremist presidents before. Yes.
Can I feel that one?
Okay. My mother would like to jump in on this.
Please bring her in.
So, at least for us Black people, it's extremely important for us
Come on, you
to.
gonna see your face?
You have to get
Bonjour.
in the camera, man.
Bonjour.
Hello. Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Ah, je vais bien, et pour vous?
Ça va bien. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
I'm Eve.
Hi, Eve. I am so proud to work with Andy. He is a phenomenal thinker. So you wanted to chime in. Please go ahead.
I think history is important for us Black people. Um, because our own history is fragmented. And in that being fragmented, we do not have uh, a sense of belonging, like a sense of we are one, a sense of we can support each other. The things that make a society grow, the things that make people grow as a people, we don't really have it as much. You can see it in the revolutions that are happening, like in the growth that is happening right now in Africa. Once the people start thinking of themselves as united, or they need, to be united, and they need to know themselves, they start making changes that scare the other folks. So history is quite important for us, simply because the white folks have made so many of us believe that our history started with um, slavery,
Slavery.
and that has an effect on us that is so bad that um, it's difficult for us to grow. It's been difficult for us to grow. You can have, like, see 100 Black people in a one place, five of them grow exponentially, and the rest stay in the same place, and they can't grow. And the ones that are growing are not helping the others. That is not part of us. We are all about growing as growing together. It's part of us. So the way that the Western folks are, is different from us. When we adopt it, all of us stay back. Are we on the same track?
Yes, we.
Okay.
So Tell me about the mental fortitude that it took for a Toussaint Louverture, a Jean-Jacques Dessalines, a Henry Christophe to even fathom independence.
One, I can't talk about their mental fortitude because I didn't know them. I can only talk in the context of what I've lived in. One.
So
Two.
you do know that, I mean, obviously you know that Haitians to me are the strongest black folk in the Western Hemisphere. You've done
Not
what
only
no
Haitians,
one else did.
I think all of us are strong once we start understanding who we are. The thing that's different about Haitian is that we grew up, at least for my generation, we grew up in a society where it wasn't about, I mean, we were all the same. If we put in the effort, we would grow. That was the thing. We get educated, we can grow. We put the effort in whatever that we have, we will grow. So uh, I think the challenges that we have in the US, for example, are different than what we have in Haiti, for example. I I think here there is a sense that you have to do this and you have to do that in order to acquire more. In that sense, make people feel like they are less because someone else is doing better and stuff like that. We always equating ourselves. I mean, we're always judging ourselves based on the other person that's next to us, not in terms of what we bring in, but we're doing it in terms of what the other person is doing, and that's wrong because we each individuals and we each part of one thing. So what you bring is not going to be the same as what I bring. So we each will bring something in order for me to make the whole stronger. These guys, like Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, these guys had a set of circumstances that were so bad that everybody had to see things the same way in order for them to grow, and they did it. Now, there's a lot of distraction, for example. We all, for example, in Haiti, you go to whatever country you go to, you find Haitians. And they grew, their kids are grown from those, in those societies and stuff. They have the rules of those societies, they adapt them. When they go home, it's not easy to integrate that in what's at home. So everybody have lost a little bit of themselves in trying to be like the others. It's extremely difficult to go to a place and stay yourself when you're trying to integrate the society where you are. So I don't know. Mental fortitude is something that is, I can't say that it's I mean, when I go to Haiti now, I'm in awe of a lot of people that stay there that don't want to leave. And that's growing because I think that circumstances are difficult, but they their value stays. So
So there's a certain pride inside.
yes, that is something that I think stays, at least with the older generation. That's something that you can't erase, even with my generation, even at this generation. The younger folks, not so much.
Yeah, ain't right. I know sister don't care. Good. Are we lag?
Are we first?
I don't think so. Oh, he's frozen.
You still there? You still there, Andy? You still there? I'm here.
Are you
I'm
okay?
here. Yeah, it blacked out for a minute.
All right.
I think those, when you start talking about Haiti, I'm not surprised that it blacked out because, usually the powers that be don't want us to have these type of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have them.
Oh, this is Michael Randolph talking. Oh yeah, Alan Lichtman. I
Good
saw that
news for
earlier.
Biden. According to Alan Lichtman, who predicted 9 out of 10 of the past presidential elections, Biden should not drop out of the election. He said that people say Reagan was too old and Reagan went on to win 60% of the votes. Michael, you're going to have to start using spell check, buddy, because you just be writing a lot of stories, but you be messing up stuff in here. Okay. Get your spell check
Oh, that's
together,
earlier.
Michael. Okay, so any thoughts on this comment? Should Biden drop out of the race? And thank you for your moms. I mean, kudos. And thank you for sharing her with us, Andy.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. She's in town. So it's not. This is a rare treat.
This is a real treat. So, good news for Biden. Well, so let's go to this Trump Biden thing. Did you see the debate?
I did see the debate. I saw the debate. I had to watch it again with subtitles on so I could actually understand what Biden was saying. But I did see the debate.
Are you buying the justification that he had a cold?
Man, no, I'm not. I'm not buying it. Come on now, don't play in my face. I wasn't born yesterday. He had a bad debate performance. Either that, or y'all knew going in he was going to have a bad debate performance, and you still put that man on stage.
So many people are saying he needs to go. I mean, I had an expert out of DC tell me last week that he should not drop out of the race. If they got anybody, but if they didn't get Kamala, they certainly better not get Michelle Obama. That black women would be upset if Kamala wasn't chosen. Are you buying that? Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, as far as
Biden needs to go.
I'd be interested in seeing. I'd be interested in seeing the process play
2024.
out. Honestly, I would like to see Biden step out of the race and see a floor fight. I want to see a floor fight, but that's me. I like good politics. I like the fight. I like the action. Do I think Biden's gonna go to is just gonna step down? No, I doubt it. No.
Is that out
Now,
of
I've
ego? Is
seen.
that out of political, just traditional, conventional political theory? Why don't you see him? Is it white privilege? What do you attribute it to? The fact that he will not get out of the race? Pride, arrogance? I don't know what.
Well,
Common sense?
all of the above, but not of all of the above, but that of his team. Okay. Like, so you think about it. Biden is not like a tradition, is not really running his own show right now, right? His team is calling the shots. And when his campaign manager even said, okay, why would we drop out? We have all the money. Who's gonna be able to raise the amount of money that we have now? And it's like, so I don't think they're gonna go out. They're just gonna fall back and go out without a fight. They want to run Biden for president. They want 4 more years of Biden, and there's nothing we're gonna do and say to change their mind about it. Now, it's not too late for him to drop out. This is between now and the convention. They have until the Democratic convention to choose another nominee. There can be a floor fight for this. Now, personally, who I would like to see? I'd like to see Michael Bloomberg. He came into the race, cleared the field, got a whole bunch of really good candidates out of the race so that Biden could have a shot at the White House. And it was successful. Then he dropped out. Now he dropped out. Now we have Biden. I'd like to see Bloomberg come through and finish where he started. Because I honestly think it'd be really good TV to see a Trump versus Bloomberg debate because there's two old rich dudes who don't care. And they're gonna say all types of crazy stuff. And Bloomberg knows more stuff about Trump, and he will say it. And Bloomberg's not really a politician. He's just gonna be an old rich guy talking trash on TV. Because I mean, at this point, this is what we have as the White House. The White House is just TV. I don't, I feel like all of the lower level, everything from Senate down is way more consequential than anything going on in the White House right now. Like, yes, the Supreme Court appointments, all of that stuff. That stuff sounds great, but with a Trump presidency, eh,
Do you fear a Trump presidency?
I fear a Trump presidency.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I don't fear a Trump presidency. I fear Project 2025. But I also know that those things go hand in hand.
Tell everybody about Project 2025.
Project 2025 is the conservative promise. It's the presidential transition plan for the Republicans. It was paid for by the Heritage Foundation, and it was compiled by over 400 Republican think tanks across the nation. And so this is a real plan as to what they want to do. They say is to is to change the administrative state of America. It's 900 pages of words, and some of the stuff, it could be argued that some of the stuff is good if you're looking at it in a very myopic um, way. But there's, there's about it is. I personally see it as an attack on Black people in the C-suite, Black people who got government contracts. This is, like this is a war. This is a war manifesto because they they want to take away the teeth. They want to make it so that everything that our forefathers and everything that was fought for in the civil rights movement and all of that stuff, they want to take the teeth away from that. It's like a very subtle, quiet way that they're trying to do it.
Do you see
And then
this?
people are distracted by Trump, and nobody's paying attention to what Trump brings. People say stuff like, "Oh yeah, well, when Trump was president, I had more money." Okay, yeah, sure, but Muhammad Ali used to hit the rope a dope all the time. We're telling me you cannot identify a political rope a dope. Yeah, sure, he came in first 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 term. He was real nice, did everything cute. Yeah, a little get us to come in, ball, in the second term, like, yeah, we're pro Trump, then he's gonna screw us.
Do you think
And this
Project
is the blueprint for
2025?
it right here.
Do you think
Mhm.
Project 2025 reeks of fascism, very far right conservative thought that eliminates federal agencies, that makes the president? I think I see him more of a dictator than anything. Is that what a Trump presidency will equate to?
On a higher scale, I mean, I hear some people say stuff like that, but I think that language is a little too pointed and it's kind of a little distracting. Personally, I don't think they still want to make their money. Like the industries want to make their money. They just hey, and I guess because I'm a young Black man, this is what stands out the most for me is that there it's about eliminating diversity. It's about hiding it's about hiding the numbers, right? So like if you look at most of the time with the equal opportunity stuff, right? We use it collects all the data of who's where and this, that, and the other. They don't want that. They don't want you to be able to shine a light on what they're doing. And that's all I see from Project 2025, including what they do for the businesses. Even the things that they are proposing to help businesses is really just a matter of making it so that nobody can shine a light on what's going on.
So this sounds like
I mean,
narcissistic behavior. You know, they're wanting the privilege of a king, but the accountability of a toddler.
pretty much. I mean, pretty much. And I don't, I don't see anything good coming of a Trump presidency. Um, Now, you can say I could be wrong. God willing, I'm wrong, but I just don't see this being a good thing in the long run. I don't know if a Biden presidency is better, but it ain't worse. That's a fact. But we're at least not gonna get this. You know, and so mm, they want to make it this a conservative presidency feels like it's gonna be more expensive to be poor in America.
Is this a fight for white survival? This Project 2025? Is this a direct result of a lack of population? I mean, I think Latinos are out reproducing everyone, then blacks, but whites, their level of reproduction is not as high as those two other racial demographics.
It definitely touches on that. Like it's a part of it. And it's about I think the best way to put it is a friend of mine, she said it's about maintaining the scaffolding of white supremacy. It's like we've been chipping away at it. Like it's not cool anymore to be racist. Um, and they need to shore that structure up again so that their grandkids and great grands can benefit from it.
How is Trump able to tap into poor whites who, in many ways, one could make the argument they're voting against their own self interest?
They're They are voting against their own self-interest, but they don't think they're voting against their own self-interest because to them, one day they're going to be there. The problem is, and this is what's apparent in Project 2025, is that too many Black people are making it there before them, and they got a problem with that. And I say too many Black people, I mean too many minorities, too many Spanish people, too many Asian people, too many women are making it in there before them, before the poor white man, and having more money and having more things and having more success. And that's
But how can you get mad at black people? You have this entire demographic that's had a 400-year head start on African Americans. 400 years. As a matter of fact, when African Americans have made progress, here comes this certain demographic like Tulsa's Black Wall Street, 36 square blocks of self empowerment. That community does well, they're able to spend money and help, raise the tide elsewhere. But instead, white America decided to drop a bomb on its own citizens. First time in American history.
The thing is, everything is all good as long as the poorest white person thinks they're better off than the richest Black man. And when that's not the reality, they don't they have a problem. They mobilize, they organize.
Well, they're going to be fighting for a long time because this stat, according to Michael Randolph, they'll be outnumbered by 2040. I see it already happening in that. I mean, the Latinos, there are more Latinos in America than Black people. So maybe it's because thousands of Latinos are coming across the border daily. And the first Black man that came across the border, I think of those Haitian refugees coming across, being met by men on horseback. I did see that. Was that my imagination?
They really try to rationalize that.
There were men on
it's the
horseback.
most humane way.
I saw them with whips. Did they have whips?
Mm-hmm. They did have whips.
I was utterly disgusted. I really wanted to fight.
I was like, oh, that's something that we do here in America still? Okay. Okay. But
How does America
white
heal from
supremacy is
race?
alive and well,
How
and they
does
have no
America
intentions
heal
of
from,
going anywhere. Hmm?
Andy, how does America heal from racial trauma?
America is built on racism, though. So you're asking, how does America heal from itself? And so we just
I
have
mean,
to
and
accept that
sure,
racism is a part of the American fabric. That racism is as American as apple pie.
that's sad because it's saying that we're insane. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Do you think racists want a different result? I mean, clearly they want to maintain their image of power.
Oh yeah, they just gotta be beat. Like, I mean, we're not like changing their mind, bringing them on. No, we just gotta take what they think they know and take it from them. Like right now, we have been making progress, surely, slowly but surely, we've been making progress, building, getting the bigger piece of the American pie for Black people, and we need to focus on continuing to do that. Black success is the best way to destroy the racism, because at the end of the day, their whole ideology stems on the fact that they think they're better off than us. And they see the
Why?
Jay-Z's, it drives them
That, that,
crazy.
that takes a lot of gall, audacity, and ignorance. Scientifically, the African is the oldest race on Earth.
Mhm.
Unless the scientists have been wrong, but the oldest DNA comes out of Namibia. The oldest DNA. So that means that everybody else comes from them. How can you hate your parent? I remember on the Phil Donahue show once, it was a white mom and her children. And the children found out that the mom had Black ancestry. And the children disowned their mother. What type of tomfoolery? If your mother has that blood, you moron, then so
So
do
do you.
you. My God, stop the stupid stuff. For what? Nobody cares.
Optics. Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
And then say blacks aren't the oldest race on earth. It still doesn't matter because we all have a heart. If a white person needed a blood transfusion and the only person available was a black person,
That
are
that
you
that
telling
procedure
me
would still happen.
you'd rather die than to take that black person's blood because you're too dumb? I mean, racism is just stupid. I think of
Mhm.
the situation up in Hose Heights, founded by Grandison Ho, a black man. It's a community founded by that's right next door to Roland Park, and that's where the first ordinance came down in 1910, which said blacks couldn't move into white neighborhoods, whites couldn't move into black neighborhoods. The people in Roland Park 2 years ago resurrected their beef with Hose Heights and blocked these people's access to Roland Avenue. Why? And the neighborhood, Hose Heights, is now mixed. So you're not only blocking black people, you're blocking white people. Why? I mean, some people actually think they have more right to God's green earth than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's laughable, man. I saw this cartoon last week. It said it had some Indians, indigenous Native Americans, building a fence, and on the other side of the fence were pilgrims. And they said they should have built the fence a long time ago. because they've now come to America, not their indigenous land, made rules, told the Indians that they don't own the land, that they own the land, that the whites own the land, and we're gonna give you a reservation to live on.
Somewhere where you don't want, and if you turn around and you make that land nice, we're gonna come take it and then put you somewhere else.
Okay, Michael Randolph's always switching up the gears. So we talked about the mental health of candidates. Obviously, I wanted to get to the mental health of Donald Trump. Do you think he's mentally healthy?
Mm-mm. He might be a sociopath. He might be a sociopath, but no, I don't think so. Definitely not. Mm-mm.
If he gets elected, are his white supporters saying, in essence, that they don't care if their sons grow up to grab a woman's vagina, lie, not take ownership? Is that what we would be saying as a nation, particularly the Trump supporters, even those people that committed treason, took over the Capitol, climbed the walls of the Capitol? Are those supporters then saying it's okay for their child, their sons in particular, to grow up to be liars, cheats, disrespectful to women? I mean, hell, Trump was even arguing with a 13-year-old little girl, the little girl that won the Peace Prize. Yeah, for climate control, bringing attention to climate damage, global warming. Mm-hmm. Are they saying they want their sons to be like Trump? That it's okay?
I think so. It's hard to say that they don't. It's hard to say that supporting Trump does not mean you support his behavior. Because at the end of the day, if you support what he represents. I mean, like, people say, oh, we have more money under Trump, and they make it seem like Trump did such great things for him, but they forget that Trump came on the heels of an Obama administration, and Obama did his thing. And it's like, if Biden was the one, if Hillary had won that election, Hillary would be the one claiming all of the great things that's happened. But the flip side is Biden also caught a Trump, the results of a Trump administration. And so who's to say? But no, I don't think Trump is mentally. Nah, yeah, I don't think he's 100. I don't think he's an average person mentally. I don't think he's got all of the pages. But he's a good campaigner. He's a good salesman. He's good at selling the invisible.
What will that mean for this country from a mental health perspective? And what will the rest of the world think of America if Trump gets elected?
The rest of the world already has bad views of America.
And then what do you say about the black people who support Trump?
Man, I don't know what to say about them guys, man. They
Tim
have
Scott
their reasons.
South Carolina?
I feel.
Is it Tim Scott down in South Carolina?
Mm-hmm. Vice presidential candidate.
VP job.
That's who I think is going to be the VP. They're naming all these other white people and whatnot, but I'm like, nah, it's going to be Tim Scott.
Is that to solidify more of the black vote?
Yeah, Tim Scott's actually done some things for black people. He's not just black in skin only.
Yeah, but social media is giving him. They had him on television, looking like one of the Cosby kids. No, the Fat Albert and what is it?
With the big teeth.
Dabba-dibba-dabba-dibba-doo.
They put the hat on him.
They put the hat on him. Had his teeth real bucky, protruding.
I
Wow.
mean, well,
Okay.
that's you're gonna get roasted. I mean, that's just par for the course. You can't even be mad about it.
Well, let me ask you this one last question. What do we think? What do we as a community think of Black Republicans?
So
I
as a
mean,
community for
Tim Scott, they can be helpful to the Black cause.
So as a community, we tend to like vilify Black Republicans, like, oh, you're a coon, you're Uncle Tom, and so like the people who go over to be Black Republicans tend to be folks who feel rejected by the Black community, and so they go over to the Black Republicans thinking that the white people is going to like them more and treat them better and whatnot, and then they just get used and pushed to fight battles that they are not equipped to fight because it's got a black, to be the black face on a bad issue, on a white issue. And so now half of that is really because of numbers. Like if there was enough numbers, they could make a stand. There's not enough numbers. There's not enough black people who are just black for being who are black first, then Republican. You got some folks who are just looking for acceptance. Where at this point in time, the thing is within the black community, we're not myopic, right? We don't all have the same thought processes. Some black people are black first, and they genuinely do have some Republican values and would be a Republican, but they would not. They don't want to be. They don't want to be in the room with somebody who they don't like. I guess I don't know. They don't respect, or it's not even that they don't respect. It's that this is whole similar to the whole there's no place for a black man in the military rhetoric. There's this very strong rhetoric moving around about how black person shouldn't be Republican when Biden can go in front of a national audience and tell you that you're not black if you're not voting for me. That level of comfort kind of pissed me off because
Pissing me
it's
off
like
too.
and so and you think about it, right? As black people, are we benefiting from being all in one party? Not at all.
No.
Right?
I've been said that we need to flood the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm. We need an even distribution of our forces. We need just as much. We need enough black people on the Republican side and enough black people on the Democratic side to flip both elections to whichever way we want them to go. Like,
Andy, how can people get in touch with you?
easy to find. You can check out my website, foxlinellc.com. You can catch me on email at pierre@foxlinellc.com.
Good deal. Any final thoughts, Andy, on mental health, politics, the mental health of our politicians?
If you don't have a psychologist or psychiatrist, you should get one. If you're going to run for office or get into office, what you need is a sports psychologist, not a regular psychologist. You need a sports psychologist. You need someone who's used to dealing with people who in high intensity environments who can win, lose, gotta get up, but get back up and get back into the fight. Not just a regular psychologist gonna be like, oh my God, oh my God, your feelings are valid. No, we don't need that. You need somebody who's going to toughen you up. So that's the best advice I can give. Anybody running for office, you want to run for office, get you a sports psychologist. Tell your wife, get your wife on board. You know what I'm saying? Get your mom on board, get everybody on board, and build your mental team. Your mental support team first, and then then go tell people that you're about to run for office.
Andy, I want to thank you for joining us here on the New Life Recovery Show. And I am very grateful for this conversation. I've learned something myself, things I had not considered.
No, thank you for having me, Don. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. If I think better, I do better. We'll be back Wednesday at 12 noon. Good afternoon, world.